Hi guys, welcome to our session today, all about moving with your spine. So whether you've got a curvy spine or a spinal fusion, we're going to be looking at how your back wants to move in various directions and just having a bit of an explore really, so that we can build that confidence, build that familiarity and just work out what feels good really. So we are starting seated. We're going to have a look at our movement side to side. So we'll do this actively first. We're going to bring hands across our chest and just gently tilt as far as feels good over to one side, all the way back up to the top, and then same over to the other side. So just take your time. As always, just always making sure that you're feeling happy, you're feeling okay when you're doing these moves. Don't be doing anything that feels like you're having to force today. I mean, that's the aim of this session really, is to work out where it feels right. So as you're doing this, with or without a fusion, you're probably noticing that one side feels a little bit easier than the other, and that might be in terms of how far you can bend, in terms of how strong you feel on that side. Just noticing those little uniquenesses. Don't worry if one side feels different. We'll just take once more to each side. Try and relax into it. Good. Okay, so these are active movements. We're going to come into a passive movement where we're stretching the spine without needing to use any of the muscles in the core. Should be easier. So we're going to pop one hand down on the floor, other arm's going to sweep overhead and come into this lovely side bend. So we're really taking our body weight through that bottom hand, stretching up and across with the top, and you should get a little more movement through your side there. Come all the way up, same on the other side, get that grounding through your hand, and then coming over, nice big stretch. Good. So as I say, we should be able to move further than when we were doing this with hands across your chest. This should also feel a little bit nicer, not having to work so hard through the torso, but equally just exploring if one side feels different than the other. If you find bending quite easy, quite stiff, does this feel really hard and achy? Just take your time. Good. Okay, last one to each side. So your spine moves very basically in 3 different ways. Firstly, a side to side that we're doing now. The second movement is a twist, round from one side to the other. So we'll explore that in the same way, starting with an active movement. Hands across your chest, please. So I want you to aim with the opposite shoulder. We're going to pull that around across the body. We're twisting as far as feels comfortable to the side, looking round with you as you go. Come back to the middle, same to the other side. Lead with the opposite shoulder. Coming round, looking over your shoulder, and then coming back. Good. Hopefully, the more of these we do, it starts to feel a bit more comfortable. But same as with those side bends, we probably have one side that's a bit easier or a bit harder. And that's because scoliosis isn't just side to side, it also involves rotation. And whether you've had surgery or not, usually some of that still remains afterwards. Completely normal. Just is what it is, which is why I like to say that we're still living with scoliosis even post-surgery, just because our bodies are still trying their best to get into that curvy position. Typical. So as you're doing this, come all the way that you can. I want you to pause, take a breath out, see if you can get any further. It's a neat little trick. What we're doing is we are deflating the lungs, so it gives us a bit more room to move. And it's also helping to relax. Because what we can do, if we're trying to pull round, we start to squeeze everything up and we're pulling. My spine isn't really moving here, it's all in the shoulders. So if we just relax, we might be able to get further. Doesn't matter if you don't, just something to try. And with all of these things that we're doing today, we're not forcing any movement that doesn't want to happen, okay? Right, make your next one your last one, and then we are going to do this as a passive movement again. You're welcome to stay up on your knees. I'm going to come and sit cross-legged because I find it a bit easier here. The plan is we're going to take one hand to the opposite knee. Spare hand's going to come behind you. We're leading again with the opposite shoulder. Breathe out, and we're going to come into that twisty position. So we're looking round. Again, use your hands to make that anchor so that your torso, your core isn't having to work as hard. Switch those hands, coming round. Breathing out. Good. So you might not notice, in the same way with the side bends, I said you probably will go a bit further. With the twists, you might not go much further. It depends how bendy you are. I don't go much further, but it feels more relaxed. And that's all we can hope for, really, because we're trying to build that confidence in our spines, trying to work out actually what movement's possible. And if we're stressed as we're doing it, all of our muscles are going to tense, and no movement's going to be possible at all because we'll be like a statue. So we'll try and avoid. We'll just do once more to each side because I know these can get a little bit irritable. And then we've got that last way that our spine moves. And that is front to back. Right, bring yourself back to the front. So front to back, we're thinking about flexion forwards and extension backwards. Those of you who are fused, this is going to be very difficult. Those of you who are not fused, you'll be able to bend a lot more than me. Do not force any movement. I cannot stress that enough. What we're going to do, this is going to look like I'm doing absolutely nothing. Hands on your knees. We're going to pull your chest through. So I want you to really stick out your breastbone. You can look slightly up towards the wall in front of you. We're aiming to arch your back, tip your pelvis forwards, pull on those knees, squeeze your shoulders together and create that arc shape in your back. We're then going to reverse that. We're again hanging onto those knees. We're going to round the shoulders. We're sinking back. This is where mine looks really unimpressive. If you're not fused or you've got a shorter one than me, you should be able to sink back. So you create like a hump in your back. Pelvis tilts backwards, rounding the shoulders, almost like being pulled back from behind your bra strap. Chin tucks down a little bit if that's comfortable, and then we pull back through. So you can see, I'm like prime example here. There is no point me trying to get my spine to bend any more than it is. There's literally a whacking great metal rod in there, okay? But above and below the rod, through my pelvis and my shoulders as well, I've got a little bit of movement because not every single bone in my spine is fixed. With scoliosis that hasn't been fused, those curves can still get quite stiff, so you might feel that you can't bend in the same way. Fine. But we're trying to keep everything as healthy as possible, and where we do have movement, we want to use it. So as you move from position to position, just thinking about actually, am I feeling any movement in there? Am I able to relax into this? Can I make this a nice fluid transition? There's a lot of movement actually that we've got available here. The first time you do this, it can feel quite weird. Good, okay, finish that last one. Shake it off, and we're going to come to all fours. We're going to do similar movements again, front to back, twisting and side to side, but we're going to do it in all fours. So this is just slightly different with gravity. We want to have hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Continuation of the last exercise. We're going to allow your chest to sink to the floor, pelvis to tilt forwards, and then pulling up, rounding the shoulders, allowing the pelvis to tuck under if you wish, and then moving back. Right, slightly different instructions. If you are like me, you're like completely fused, I want you to focus on shoulders, doing this lift and lower, and pelvis just moving a little bit as you go. If you are only fused in one half of your spine, so you're a bit more bendy, or you're not fused at all, you've got your curvy spine, I want you to imagine you've got a hook on your breastbone and a hook behind the bra strap. So when we're lowering towards the floor, that movement is coming from the breastbone. It's really pulling down, spine is sinking, and as we're pulling up, it's coming from that spot behind the bra strap. That's where I want you to pull up from. Apologies, I can't demonstrate it. It's not for lack of trying. Oh well. Keep that going, well done. So again, just a reminder, this is about exploring where your spine wants to go, not about forcing anything. Okay, last one in each direction. And once you finish that last one, we're just coming to like a neutral spine, somewhere in between the two where you feel comfortable here. We're going to take one hand. It's going to thread underneath the other one. We're going to bend that supporting elbow, twist down towards the floor and take a stretch. We should feel this through your lats up here. We're going to pull the arm back through. Your hand's going to come to your chest and we're going to see how it feels to lift your elbow up to the ceiling. If that feels quite easy, maybe you want to open out. It's not for me, but those of you who are more bendy, go for it. And then we're going to come all the way back under again. And up. So personally for me, where I'm fused, this is quite difficult. So I'm just lifting up a little bit until I feel that engagement. And then I'll come back. I'm going to cheat to show you this. Keep your knees down, but if you're curvier, you might be able to lift all the way up like this. As I say, I have to lift a knee to do it. You should be able to do it without, and get more of a twist through your thoracic spine, this bit kind of linking to your ribs, okay? So keep moving with same hand, under, and up. And we're going to take that 3 more times here. We're going to finish on the fold under, because that's the nice bit. But even doing things like this is really helpful for building confidence in your spine, just by understanding where your body wants to twist, how that feels. We're going to finish here. Nice big stretch under. Woo! Let's do the other side. So again, we're threading all the way under, nice big stretch. And then coming up, hand to chest. Again, you can tip up to the ceiling, maybe open that arm if that feels good. And then we'll come down. I just really surprised myself then. I can never get that arm up. Must be having a good day. There you go. So it's worth doing this every now and then, just to work out what feels good for you. Oh, I'm so surprised. Oh dear. It's no better to be more bendy, to be honest. Like, I really wouldn't worry if you've been fused for 20 years and you've never changed how far you can twist round. It might just be where your metal work is kind of fixing you still. And that's fine. And some of it will just be due to metalwork, some of it will be due to stiff spine, and some of it will be due to muscles being tight. So the muscles we can help with, stiff spine we can help with to an extent, not as easily. Metalwork, I can't do anything about that. I wish I could. Right, so we're going to just do one last one, all the way up. And then we come and stretch under for that last bit. Bring yourself back to all fours. I've got one last thing just to get a bit of flow through your back. So we're going to walk your hands a step further forwards. Just tuck those knees, make sure they're underneath your hips. We're going to swing your butt round to one side. Nice big circle till it reaches your bottom. Comes up the other side and over. So we're taking this big circle to your heels and up. What I want you to think about is, before you take the circle, your spine sits on your pelvis here. I want you to whip your pelvis round and then take the circle, and then whip your pelvis round and take it in the other direction. And that's really going to give us that mobility in the lower back, especially if you are somebody who feels very stiff through there, very worried about how much movement you've got. I want this to be flowy. I want this to be nice and floaty and juicy. Just relax, it's fine. Feel that confidence through your body. Feel that relaxation through your back, through your lower spine. That nice flowing movement. I think often when we're a bit stiff, we feel very robotic. And then we act robotic. And then we lose that mobility. So just by doing something that's so floaty, it's a really nice way to get that back. Okay, we're going to take one more in each direction. And once you finish that last one, we are just widening those knees slightly, sitting your butt onto your heels, stretching hands overhead. And relax. And whilst you're here, I want you to just take a second to reflect on all of the exercises that we've done today. If they've felt quite nerve-wracking or quite strong, if you felt you were able to relax into them or not. And just take that as a benchmark so that the more you practice moving your spine, the easier that will get. Just take one last deep breath here for me. And then we're slowly going to walk ourselves back up to seated, and we are all done. So I hope you've learned something about how your spine and your back want to move, learned something about your confidence levels, your confidence in your own ability as well, and that's something that you can take forward to other sessions in the future. All right, really well done for coming, and hopefully I will see you soon for another session.